Look off. How's everybody doing? Today we're going to talk about Mars and Leo, part 2. Sorry for the delay in between part 1 and part 2. I'm getting rid of this cough. It's one of those cough that, from the drinking and smoking together, I told you about that, right? I got my salmon with lots and lots and lots of garlic and lots of onion, red onion, and watercress. It helps take that out. So that they hear the that's a good thing because it's coming out. That's what it does. Leo, we're in Leo month, and of course, I hope that Mars in Leo part 1 did some justice, but it was more esoteric and more abstract. So I'm going to now jump and go into details about the Mars in Leo when it comes to the man. And let me tell you, this is applied to those born with the sun in Leo. So for those of you who are Leos, listen up. Because this applies to you. Not just Mars and Leo. Because remember, Mars represents the daily activities. So Mars kind of mimics the sun. So Mars in Sag is like the sun in Sag. Mars in Scorpio is like the sun in Scorpio. Okay? The Mars mimics the activities of the sun. But the sun is the seat of the soul. While Mars is the engine of the sun. Okay? So they work in tandem. But the energy of Leo is that of stillness. Like the sun. Stand still. The only way that bitch is going to move out of there is if it implodes when the hydrogen runs out. And of course, when that happens, it turns into a black hole. So, this psychology has to be translated in the human ego and personality. So, okay, and of course, yes, it's 5:57 in the morning. But let me tell you, I have to have a drink because in 7 days I got that seminar, and I hope you guys come. I hope you do. I'm gonna have food, drinks. New York City is gonna be nice, and the money goes to a good cause. You all know that I'm very big on fundraising for causes, and I'm very transparent. For those of you who cannot make it, you can send your donations anyway through Eventbrite, not PayPal, because this is not my money. Okay, the PayPal money is my money, but this for the event, that's your money for the event. So it goes into a separate account, and I think Corinne Green, she took care of all of that. But we're gonna jump right in, and we're gonna make up for 3 minutes and 48 seconds that I took in making announcements. Please donate. I haven't got any donations just since I get back on the air. So please go to paypal.me/the People's Astrologer and give donations, of course, because that'll keep things going. I can't tell you what I had to spend to put myself back on the air with all this technical bullshit going on. So, okay. Let's go. Mars and Leo. Okay. Understand, first of all, that a man born with Mars and Leo has all the trappings of those born with the sun sign in Leo. Okay? Personal pride. Enormous personal pride. And of course, if we're dealing with the lower nature of the Mars and Leo person, we're dealing with a man who could be a big show off, especially if he's below age 30, and know how to impress others. Leos are natural leaders. and they're very creative, and they have an indomitable will. Again, mimicking the sun sign in Leo. Willpower, much energy, creative. There is independence and a psychological need for independence and self-sufficiency. Okay, they they expect complete devotion, complete total devotion and dedication when it comes to love. Anyone who is in love with a Mars and Leo man should give him or her as much attention as possible for the relationship to be happy and for the relationship to survive. You must give the Mars and Leo man attention, and you must give it abundantly. Very much like the sun in Leo. But here's the thing. Leo is number 5 in the zodiac wheel. You know, got Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, right? Virgo, Libra, the Fibber point, Scorpio, Sag, Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces makes 12. Okay, 12 personalities in which the soul, which is God, expresses itself. And we see this abundant creativity of personality expression through the agency of Mars. And this correlates and applies also to where Mars falls in the other signs. Even though we're not dealing with Leo, we can deal with Mars, let's say Mars in Scorpio, Mars in Sag. It ascends Jupiter if it's in Sag. If we have Mars in Scorpio, it's going to ascend Pluto. Okay? So Mars, like the planet Jupiter, are amplifiers. They increase. They increase the potential. Okay? Leo is stillness. Have you noticed something about Leo men? Leo men, let's jump a minute to Leo men outside of the Mars and Leo person. The Leo, sun in Leo, sun sign Leo, the Leo man, if you notice, he basically is a quiet creature. I'm talking about the sun being a point of stillness because the sun doesn't move. Only the planets do. But if we bring it closer to home and we make the correlation with the lion, what does the lion do? He sits up on a ridge, on a hill, overlooking the pride. He sleeps all day and then he mates or fucks all day. When the female of the species and the lion kingdom runs the society of the pride, and when she does the killing and brings it back to the pride, it is Leo that comes down and distributes the food for the rest of the tribe. And the female lion, which did the killing, the bitches eat last. What the fuck is that? Now he's like a king. He eats first. He gets the fresh meat of the kill. Then the other boys, his bros. Then the cubs. Then the females get to eat. But the last to eat of the females are the ones that brought in the killing. So even you see the narcissism even in the animal. Yo, Jehovah created a system. After me, it's diabolical genius. You have to admire it. You have to admire it. So we see the narcissism in the animal kingdom with the lion. Don't we see that in the personality of the Leo man, whether Mars is there or the sun? It's still a level of self-inflation, self-absorbed narcissism that only he matters and only he should be the reason for you to live. If you're the woman who has captured this man's eye, he expects you to live for him. His career, or your career should be him. I met a woman who actually told me that her man, who's a Leo, told her that she needed to quit her career and stay at home and bear his children and take care of him. She did it. She did it. They've been together now for 45 years. The Leo man is his own law of being. And he cares nothing about the rights and needs of others if it overshadows his own. Another negative trait or lower nature of the Leo person is that if he's creative and talented, and you are too, there's competition there. That's going to bring out the dark side of Leo. Only he can shine. There can only be one sun. So with Mars in Leo, we have a situation where we have either a very evolved person or a very unevolved person. It really depends on other determining factors. With this combination, the upbringing, the economic status, the what happened in the profile, what they come from abuse, they come from privilege, the level of education and exposure. All these things play a role in making the person a completely holistic human being dealing with Mars and Leo. Because Leo, as well as the Mars and Leo person, they are not, they're like, it's like a glass menagerie. They just sit and do nothing. You have to plan the activities for the Leo man or the Mars and Leo man. You got to plan his activities, his itinerary, because he'll sit around and idle himself away and do nothing, say nothing. Do you know what the Leo man likes to do? Do you watch the movie, the sitcom called The Goldbergs? The Goldbergs. I just in Channel 11. It's a very funny show. I like it. Well, I think Bill, or the father, he comes in the living room, he takes off his pants, and he's sometimes in his tidy undies, white, or he's in the boxers. I think in the show he always has underwear. And he sits there with legs wide open, in front of the TV in the show. He does this every single day, every single day, every single day. That's the fixity nature of Leo. I don't know if the actor who plays, Mr. Goldberg is a Leo. The actor who plays Goldberg. The Goldbergs was based on a real family, a real Jewish family called the Goldbergs. I don't know if Mr. Goldberg, the real Mr. Goldberg, is Jewish. He's Jewish, but I don't know if he's a Leo. But the actor who plays Mr. Goldberg is, if that's not Leo behavior, then I'm full of shit. You need to watch that, at least an episode or two. It'll be great if you can see one where the man is there, the father, Mr. Goldberg. You see that all he does is sit on that chair and delegates like a king from that chair. That's the typical Leo behavior. If you got a Leo man, you ladies and a few gents, he's going to be a homeboy because his home is his castle. So he's not going to stray away much from the home. So if you want a man that you can keep at home, the Leo man is your bet. The next person that is also a stay-at-home husband or boyfriend that you don't have to worry about him leaving and sneaking out is the Virgo man. The Virgo man, like the Leo man, likes to stay home and likes to be dedicated to family, friends, children. They truly are family men. The concept of the family man begins in Cancer, but it is perfected in Virgo. Because Virgo brings the money. He works for the family. He works to put the kids in school, give the wife what she needs. He works not for himself, but for his family. For Virgo is very self-effacing and very self-sacrificing for the needs of others. Leo, not at all. Not at all. Cancer, again, very clannish. Only if it's family. And nuclear, outside of family, maybe, maybe not. Most probably not. Okay, so Leo has a very, very psychological need to have everything. And when he sits at his chair, isn't that like the sun? And the children and the wife are like the planets revolving around him. The same setup, as above, so below. Think about that. Think about it. Don't accuse the Leo man of being lazy and of being non-productive, as many of them can be, especially above age 30 and below age 30. But here's the thing. You can't call the sun lazy. And the sun just sits there. But without that sun, we wouldn't be here. So understand that the Leo man, whoever he is in your life, whether it's your father, your husband, your boyfriend, if you see him sitting there in the living room from morning, noon, and night, especially on the weekends, because of course he has to work during the day, you should be proud that he is the son of that family, the nucleus of that family. Of course, not all Leo men, whether with Mars and Leo or the Sun and Leo, are going to be evolved and going to be perfect angels. Far from it. But to have a sure bet of educating and evolving the Leo man. The Leo man is not like other men. You need to teach him and expose him for him to grow. When you have Mars and Leo, you are endowed with acting ability. You're a natural born actor. You can go into professional theater or professional filmmaking or television. Leo rules the television now. Leo rules the theater primarily. If we're gonna go with the classical, that pre-Hellenistic and post-Hellenistic definition, Leo rules the theater. But today, we have more than just theater. We got film, television, the media, social media. These are platforms where the personality can become famous. So if you have Mars in Leo, there's a possibility that you will be in the public spotlight to the point of fame. It doesn't mean that fame is guaranteed, but it can definitely get you there or very close to the precipice. If you have Venus in Leo or Jupiter in Leo, like I do, yes, you are going to reach a certain level of fame, no doubt. And I certainly have, doing Broadway theater and soap operas and films, and now being a platform on YouTube. So definitely, and of course, you have to look cosmetic, the part. So with Mars and Leo, you're going to find some of the most handsome and attractive looking men and some of the most beautiful, regal women. I know many women with Mars and Leo. When I did Chopin, my co-star had Mars and Leo, a beautiful woman, white woman, and she won awards. She was my co-star. She blew that shit. It was an awe to watch her fucking perform. So you might have acting abilities if you have Mars and Leo. As with the other fire signs, there can be also, again, the sun. Let's talk about the sun, okay? The sun. Okay, if the sun is the centeredness of our solar system, you can understand that the Leo personality can be self-centered, just like our sun is centered, as above, so below. So try to understand the Leo man's psychological nature by studying the sun and by studying the animal, the lion, and the pride. You study that, and you're gonna know your Leo man backwards and forwards because they parallel nature. This is why I do the compatibility and incompatibility of signs, and I ascribe it to nature because we are part of nature. We cannot escape that reality that we are a part of nature. Okay? So, with Mars and Leo, there is so much self-confidence to the point of arrogance. And it's true of the women and the men with Mars and Leo. They have this silent arrogance, this silent dignity of action. They're the type of people, men or women, that do this. This is how you know that you're dealing with a Mars and Leo person. Well, I don't know, honey. You must have done it that way because it shouldn't have worked the other way. This is not how it's done. It should be done this way because that's the proper way to be. Very austere, silent dignity, classy. The dignity that we talk about in Capricorn, like I mentioned in part one, begins in Leo and culminates in Capricorn, cardinal Earth. Leo doesn't get the credit because it's not a cardinal sign. But that type of austerity and pride and personal pride and dignity that we see in Capricorn begins in Leo, the sign of the king. Mm? So, having said that, with Mars in Leo again, this placement gives you a lot of confidence, a lot of self-confidence, and it can offset aspects of low self-esteem. If you have low self-esteem, trust me, you're not gonna have it for long. If you got Mars in Leo, you're not gonna have it for long. Mars in Leo is not gonna cause you to feel sorry for yourself. Fuck that shit. Who got time for that? Hell the fuck now. Ain't no time to feel sorry for yourself and pity. With Mars in Leo, I can tell you, aside from Venus and Jupiter being in Leo, the greater benefactor and the lesser benefactor, the next best thing is Mars in Leo. Oh my God, it brings you so many perks. So many perks. There isn't anything that you cannot do with Mars and Leo. It's a fantastic combination. A most blessed position for Mars. Even though its exaltation in Capricorn produces far more tangible results than you will expect with Mars in Leo. You don't get the same kind of tangible results with Mars in Leo as you do with Mars in Capricorn, where it is exalted. Okay. If you want to talk about possessiveness and jealousy in a relationship, you all know my brother Bruce from Chelmsford, and we're bros. But Leo men can be extremely jealous and extremely possessive. Leo is the sign of the stalker, along with Scorpio and the voyeuristic and peeping Tom. Okay? Sex, like with Scorpio, is very, very important to these men. Very, and to the Leo woman too. But the Leo man can be more addictive when it comes to sex than the Leo woman. In fact, the sex addict, sexual addiction, that also falls under Leo, not Scorpio. Leo, the phallic symbol, the penis. In Asian tribes and in tribes in the Bantu in Africa and in some parts of Brazil, the fertility god is a big penis tied with a red ribbon, and the coconuts are like the balls. And they actually have candles in a shrine to worship the penis. And the penis is like the Washington Monument. That's a penis. It's a phallic symbol. So sexual addiction falls into Leo, folks. So since we are talking about sex with this combination, because sex, after all, is an extension of their ego, and it would be an offense to nature to keep that under wraps. The Leo man loves to flaunt He's the type of man that will show pictures of his penis and send it online. Okay? He's the type of man that will masturbate in open public, like voyeuristic. He's very proud of his phallic symbol. It is an extension of his ego. And we see this also with Aries, where the penis becomes the sword. Like two men banging a girl, they're like, hey, let's not bump swords. Okay? That's where that comes from. Okay? So understand that these signs are extremely phallic. And signs that are extremely phallic have a psychological, psychosocial, behavioral orientation towards narcissistic arrogance. And that might work well in business. But in the arena of love and intimacy and interpersonal relationships, it can become a problem. Mars and Leo. Okay. So Mars and Leo lovers always reserve the right to brag. And not for nothing, they say that the best lovers with the men falls under what the number one is Pisces. Number one is Pisces. They have that bedroom thing hands down. I think even better than Scorpio. Second is Aries. The first of the phallic symbol. Leo. And then Scorpio. Oh Lord. I listen to the Leo music that correlates to this. And let me tell you, I'll be smiling and like, thinking that I'm on TV. I'm sorry. I feel my happiest when I talk about Leo. But then again, that's part of the narcissism. And I'm not even a Leo. But I have so much of it that the Virgo part of me just withers away. So, there are times though. There are times where noise and bragging about sex can be something of overbearing and can get the Leo man in trouble. And I've seen this firsthand. The bragging can get the Leo man into trouble. Because it seems like the Leo man is always being hit on. And it always seems to happen at the wrong time. And the wife catches him and she blames him instead of blaming the women. I've seen Leo men where the women just throw themselves at him. And he don't know what to do. He's like, oh, boop, here, go ahead, rape me. The little man, again, he's an adolescent, a teenager. He hasn't reached psychologically the level of adulthood that we see when we reach Virgo, the sign of adulthood. So understand that with Mars here, you're dealing with a man that might take a while to grow up. He might not have the Peter Pan syndrome, which is another psychology of behavior all in of itself. But with the Mars and Leo person, you best believe that he's going to retain his youth, even in attitude, far longer than his years. Far longer than his years. We've reached 30 minutes. We're done with Leo in part 2.